Go over Ballotpedia's information that they have on Joe Biden's administration. Now, they'll have a section for every recent president, but because Joe Biden's the current president, he gets his own section that's really easy to find on the left-hand side, and he gets his own drop-down button. So these are the main points that you'll probably most be interested in, but I'm going to show you how to get to his entire entry with all the information and summaries. So we go there, and then on the right, you can hit the Biden administration right there, and this is the entire Joe Biden entry. So it will give you an insane amount of information to help with defeating disinformation and some of the talking points that are in some of the disinformation news cycles. You can find a lot of that content in these first few links, as far as executive orders, federal judges that were nominated, lawsuits that have been initiated, vetoed legislation, even the votes that Kamala Harris the tie-breaking. She's the in the last Senate session, she was the tiebreaker when the Senate was truly 50-50. So we'll give you all the times that she had to be that deciding vote, and even some of the news headlines from the first 100 days. So I'm going to scroll through this really fast. They have, far as the key legislation, it'll give you a lot of the summary of it. And like I mentioned in previous videos, there's the little icon that will take you to the footnote. And you can even see, you don't have to even go all the way down. It'll just tell you right there where the source is, and you can go immediately there. So this is really helpful too, because let's say you don't know who Paul Gosar is, you can just click on his name and it'll take you to his entry that Ballotpedia has on him. So this is going to be helpful if you need talking points, if you need to fact check real fast. You can come to this and they put it in a format that's really easy to skim over and read, and then to the other parts of it that may be relevant or important. They'll go into more in depth in summaries of some of the vetoes he's had to do, and then in this case federal judges that he's nominated. You can get a background on any of them or all of them if you really wanted to. We know that there's some issues in the Senate with approving, so here's some still awaiting, they've been nominated and that now they're waiting to be, confirmed. And then it'll even go through his approval ratings. Now, we all know that polling is iffy, but this just gives you summaries of some of the polls that have been out there. It's not necessarily to say, this is, definitive proof of anything, but you can go back to it to see what, polls were saying at the time and whatnot, just to know what they're saying. They go as far back as to his transition, and actually they'll go as far back because he was vice president. You can find his vice presidency on here, and also his transition to become president. There'll be a whole entry there as well. So for example, as soon as he's elected, they will have his decisions of, as the transition team, they'll list all of that kind of content. And those are, I'm just showing you kind of some of the other content you'll be able to find. They will also have his campaign information. Now, I'm not sure if it's on this entry, but it'll definitely have see also. So you can go to the presidential election, confirmation process. That's, you can look at some of his nominees, the transition, and then Joe Biden as, we can click on that just to see what it says. It gives his more biographical than his presidential resume of sorts. So they will, if you click on the campaign for 2024 or 2020, or even for when he was vice president for Barack Obama, they'll have a lot of his campaign ads. So it's really comprehensive, all the content and information that they have, and it's really easy to pull up real quick. So if you need that information to kind of prove a point or disprove a point really quickly, this will do it really, really quickly. And this is also, they have really helpful electoral maps that you don't have to click on the state. You can just know how many electoral votes that they won. So, Georgia obviously went to Biden, and they'll tell you how many electoral votes each state had. So that will be all for today. Stay tuned for some more information on Ballotpedia, and I will see you all later. Have a great day, friends.